What fan theory do you 100% accept as true? Barney from How I Met Your Mother isn't actually as much of a womanizer as Ted says he is. Ted's an unreliable narrator, and could have presented this image of Barney to his kids either because he was jealous of Barney's relationship with Robin, or because he wants Barney to look unsuitable for her. That way, Ted's kids see Ted and Robin as soulmates. Willy Wonka knew what he was doing. There was no seat for Augustus aboard that boat. He knew Augustus' sloop would fall in there. Miles Morales is considered a symbol of death among Peter Parkers, who are aware of the multiverse. Mad Max folktale theory. The movies and games all have different narrators and different takes on Max, because they are all stories being told by people in the wasteland. All of these great deeds and accomplishments are being attributed to one man, who may or may not have ever really existed. Double matrix theory. The matrix has an inner core, and then an outer shell designed to give the illusion of escape. It's basically a corral, where they can keep the escaped humans until the defense mechanism, the machines, can purge them. Exclamation. This is why Neo could use his powers outside the Matrix, why Smith could leave, and why Cypher could go in without anyone noticing. Bill Cypher is still alive inside Stan Pine's mind after the ending of Gravity Falls. The clues leading to this conclusion, from fans, were so complex. They actually involved traveling to real locations and solving puzzles. Andy's parents are in the middle of a divorce when the first Toy Story is taking place. Scooby-Doo is a show about draft dodgers during the Vietnam War. Ditto are failed new clones. Inception. Leonardo's wedding ring is his totem, not the spinning top. If you watch, he only wears it in dreams, never takes it off or puts it on, and no one ever touches it. The top was Mal's and doesn't work for him, which is why he always picked it up before a full spin. The PAW Patrol pups are part of a post-AI initiative attempting to train enhanced, but subservient, companion animals to replace the robots that almost destroyed humanity. Everyone in Adventure Bay / Foggy Bottom / etc. are paid actors, who place the pups in coordinated training exercises. Which is why Mayor Humdinger gets away with all his bullshit. Parenthood has melted my brain. Mr. Bean is an alien. That would explain his weird behavior, and why he falls out of the sky at the beginning of every episode. This is a little out there, but hear me out. The year 2015 we see in Back to the Future 2 is what would have happened, if not for Chernobyl. Which leads to the argument that something in the movies, specifically 2 and 3, caused Chernobyl to happen. As you know, the year the characters are from is 1985, with Chernobyl happening in 1986. My take is, learning of the Libyans' attempt to procure plutonium, the Soviets send a spy to Hill Valley to learn more in order to prevent destabilizing relations during the Cold War. The spy arrives late, and in the timeline established by just the first movie, leaves. This is the timeline we see in the second movie, which is eventually erased. However, Doc Brown meddles with time again, and causes the events of the second, and thus third movie. The spy witnesses the end of the third movie with the flying train, and assumes it's a new sort of aircraft. He investigates the scene after the main characters depart, and finds wreckage of the DeLorean. Among the wreckage is some parts of the destroyed fusion reactor. Relaying findings to the Soviets, they get the impression that the US is significantly ahead of them in nuclear development. To combat this, they aggressively greenlight a bunch of nuclear projects, including a risky test that results in the Chernobyl meltdown. The resulting event scares people the world over, and hinders nuclear research and progression. With lack of funding, and roadblocks to more nuclear proliferation, fusion technology is never developed. Thus hampered, the timeline turns into hours. In the 2015 timeline shown in BTTF2, The nuclear research breakthroughs make the rest of the technology possible, including flying cars and hoverboards. With some developments happening in the late 80s, the economy is lifted, and the downturn of the early 90s does not happen. This has an effect of extending the garish fashion of the 80s forward, hence why the clothes look different as well. At the end of the thing, AskReddit has gasoline in the whiskey bottle. He made all the bottles into Molotov cocktails. He knew he was going to die with the thing, or likely from it, so there was no reason for him to save an entire bottle of just whiskey on his person when that could have been another weapon. At the end, he offers the bottle to Childs, who drinks it as if nothing was wrong. The thing wouldn't know what whiskey tastes like, and reveals Childs as being replaced. AskReddit even gives a smirk after he drinks from the bottle. Regular show is an acid trip. Kalu is a cancer patient. There's no other explanation for why his parents put up with the little shit and his incredibly terrible behavior. Sebastian from Stardew Valley is a natural redhead. Padme died because Darth Sidious used her to save Anakin. Shut Up and Dance by Walk the Moon and Hello by Katy Perry are retellings of the same incident viewed from opposite sides. A tragic miscommunication, where Katy thinks that she is being explicit that she isn't into him, and just came to dance, and Nicholas is interpreting everything she says as a heartfelt declaration of love, and imagining their life together. Kevin from The Office is secretly involved in a money laundering scheme. I can't imagine a guy as smart as him saying so dumb otherwise. House died in the fire in the final episode. The last 10 minutes, where he rides off into the sunset with his best friend Wilson, are his final hallucination. Edit. Changed dying dream to final hallucination, as he was hallucinating during the whole episode, and it's more in keeping with the theory. Zion is a part of the Matrix. Courage the dog is exaggerating normal occurrences into scary things cause he's a dog. The velociraptors in Jurassic Park were genetically modified to be larger so they would bring more visitors. Edit. Apparently they were genetically modified velociraptors that were Utahraptors, but based off the dinosaurs. Thanks Reddit for telling me that I'm right, and wrong and somehow incorrectly correct. Now can you stop killing my inbox? Sean Connery, John Patrick Mason, in The Rock was actually 007, who was captured while conducting espionage in the USA, after the events of the last Bond film with Connery, Diamonds Are Forever, then imprisoned at Alcatraz. Squilliam plot every Squilliam-inspired episode. He doesn't actually have a band to play with, he just did that to embarrass Squidward. He doesn't actually teach a prestigious music school, he just did that to get Squidward arrested. His clique aren't his actual friends, they are paid actors to piss off Squidward. Wither Squilliam is jealous of Squidward for continuing to follow his dreams, and having real friends rather than abandoning them to make money, or they were once lovers. I prefer both. Edit. Link to theory. https://youtube.b/8vnuggrz4c. When the Red John suspect list came down to 7 names, and Lawley recited the names, only McAllister had a prefix, sheriff, and not any other name. This shows he had a narcissistic personality, which was a well-known trait of Red John. Jess's girl is Stacy's mom. Doctor and Rose in the parallel world are perfectly happy with each other. Joker from The Dark Knight was former military/CIA, which explains his skills in weapons and interrogation, as well as that comment about the truck full of soldiers. Pepe Sylvia is just Charlie trying to pronounce Pennsylvania. Tylee is a non-bender descendant of air nomads. That the book Rory writes in the Gilmore Girls revival is the original show, that explains why the characters are so different from the show vs revival miniseries. She's looking back at the past with rose-colored glasses. Pinky is the genius. Even the theme song hints at the theory, one is a genius, the other's insane. They are Pinky and the brain. Bikini Bottom is a nuclear bomb testing site, which is why the fish have legs. Event Horizon is a prequel to the Warhammer 40k universe. Avatar: The Last Airbender takes place on a much smaller planet with lower gravity. This is why all of the characters can jump double/triple their height, and fall multiple stories without grievous injuries.